test.
She says her agent told her and her husband Keith that the dividends from their old life insurance policies would finance a new big one at no extra cost. But she says she didn't know that her agent was also using a blank withdrawal form to use not just the dividends, but the cash value of the old policies to pay for the new ones.
They never came and said, Keith, you're taking a loan out against your policies, because I know what he would have told them. He would have told them a piece of his mind, and he would never have done this.
By the time her husband died of leukemia, the old policies were depleted. The new one lapsed. Instead of $130,000, Carol was left with $22,000.
You plan your future, and then somebody disrupts it. That's not fair. We had abuses that we're not proud of.
Priscilla Myers is a senior vice president and auditor at Prudential.
We've recognized mistakes that we've made, and we want to fix those mistakes. We want to let our policyholders know that we're serious about that.
And what an array of abuses there was. This is the task force report from last July, and it cites deceptive practices ranging from misleading customers about the cost and risk of what they're buying to raiding old policies to pay for new ones, even disguising what they're selling, life insurance. Keep this in mind. Agents make their biggest commission on the sale of life insurance, and managers get a cut. And we were told there was unrelenting pressure to come up with tactics to make the sale. For instance, for the elderly in Florida, use murky language.
We affectionately call this area God's waiting room.
This is a Prudential training tape obtained by Primetime. In it, a company sales manager encourages agents to go after the savings of retirees, and in their pitch, avoid using the word people associate with life insurance payments, premium.
We would very seldom ever talk about a premium. You know, because that's painful, right, that premium. That's why we went to the capital transfer. That's how we present it. Transferring from one institution to another. No pain.
And take a look at these marketing materials which agents use to sell life insurance. The problem? They make it sound like something it's not. For instance, calling it a private pension plan, a retirement plan, a nursing home plan, an alternative to savings.
They called it everything other than what it was. It was life insurance. I mean, it was, don't mention the L word.
Rick Martin was a district manager at Prudential. Mike Weaver, a former agent. They were among dozens of whistleblowers who say they saw deception daily. Are you saying that you were giving the illusion of being an investment counselor, and in fact, you were selling life insurance?
Absolutely. The manager told me, he said, just sell it. We'll worry about it later. Just sell something.
These are some examples of how records were kept.
And Weaver showed us how routine it was to get customers to sign blank transfer forms like those that got Carol Nicholson and the Sidlows in trouble. He rummaged through the files from fellow agents in his old office.
This has 5 signed
Wait a minute.
forms.
There's nothing filled in on here.
Nothing.
Just signed.
These are signed. That's
Which
it.
means that they could put in for the
Anything
premium.
that they wanted. This is the same as giving someone blank checks out of your checking account.
Several agents told us signatures on the blank sheets sometimes were forged. And take a look at something else Primetime obtained.
And don't tell them right up front we're going to talk about a life insurance policy. We will explain that along the way in the presentation, too.
This is another training tape in which a regional vice president of Prudential and an agent instruct other agents how you lure customers into the tent by skirting what you're really selling.
Let's get beyond that word insurance. Let's don't be concerned about what we call a plan. Let's just look at the end result.
There you go.
Let's get beyond that word insurance. Meaning,
Life insurance. Well, that's what it is. So call it what it is.
Bill Nelson, Florida's insurance commissioner, who just this week threatened to suspend Prudential's license in that state. So you're saying this is not just spinning it in the marketing sense. This is not putting the most positive gloss on what you're doing. This is deception.
This is outright deception. It's selling life insurance either as another kind of product, an investment kind of product, when in fact they're not being told that it actually is life insurance, And that's against the law.
They're going to need it for nursing home care.
We asked Priscilla Myers, what about those Prudential training tapes? And don't tell them right up front, we're going to talk to them about a life insurance policy. We will explain. Don't tell them, it says.
Correct. That clearly is in violation of company policy.
This is a vice president doing it?
I think that's
management.
horrible. I think that's horrible. And had we known of that, we would have taken action against that group or that person.
I believe they're still in the company, aren't they? Myers was told, yes, these two still are. There's really only a couple of possibilities here. Either the management at the top was completely out of touch with what was going on in the company, or it was an implicit endorsement of it. This high up, this many training tapes, this widespread.
I think what the task force has said is that the company wasn't paying attention as aggressively as it should have been to the flags that were up.
So when then did senior management start to see it as a collective, widespread problem?
I would say that started coming together for us in the 92, 93, 94 period.
That's clearly untrue.
This is John Cressman, a former top auditor for Prudential, who is speaking out on television for the first time because he's concerned that even after the task force's blistering report, the company is still not telling the truth.
I have no doubt in my mind that senior management